Welcome to episode 5 of Locked In with Ramsey Killaney.
Thank you.
I'm your host, Ramsey, and this is Graeme. Graeme, do you want to introduce yourself a bit and talk about why did you want to come on the podcast? How are you going to help us get locked in?
Oh man, that's a bigger challenge than me being like, I should go just talk.
No, you got to help us get locked in.
So, I mean, I love the sound of my own voice, so I'm happy to help you get locked in. But my name's Graeme. I work in urban planning and residential development in Toronto. So, help make buildings happen. And when you pitched this thing, I was like, gosh, that's such a fascinating topic to get into. Just like, how do you get locked in? Yeah. Especially with guys, right? Because I think you started talking about like, there's not a lot of like resources.
Exactly.
And every time people start talking about like, well, how do we actually help guys? They're like, no, they need to help themselves. And then when they do, they're like, no, not like that. And I was
how
like,
do you do it? Like,
it was like, okay, well, how do we do it? And I started to think about, I've had a weird personal life just in terms of like where I've lived and different experiences I've had and how I've had to grow through challenges and like create coping strategies. And then in my career as well, if you look at my resume, it makes a ton of sense or it makes zero sense depending on who you are. Because I've just had like 3 different careers that all stacked up. And each of those created like an inflection point where I had to like learn and grow and figure out that like what gets you to level 2 is not what got you through level 1. And so I just started to like muse on how has that happened? Like how do you get locked in? Am I locked in? I don't think so. but I think that I've found strategies that have helped me that I think I've seen you embody. And I was like, it's definitely worth discussing.
Yeah.
So there's my lengthy answer.
Cool. Well, and I'm sure anything that I'm doing, like, I can do better too. Right. So we'll have tips for each other. We'll have tips for everyone. So.
And like, I don't know about you, what you're seeing in your corner of the world, but like, I'm seeing almost like a divergence in the guys that I know of like some who are going down like one path, and you kind of, tell them like, hey, is that really the best path we should be going down? And they're kind of like, I don't know, but I feel stuck. I feel like I'm being left behind. And then you see other people going down like an amazing path, and you're like, I don't even know how to get there.
Yeah.
Right. Like,
what's the difference?
Yeah.
Like, how do you,
And
I see a lot of people that are kind of stuck in the middle too.
Yeah.
And like they could go either way. And I know for me, I was at one point I could have gone either way. And luckily, I think I went down the path of like living a better life. But I didn't have that much help to get there. Like I had some people that helped me, and I wouldn't have done it without them. But it wasn't like easy. There wasn't guides out there for it or anything.
Were there specific moments that stood out to you as like, that was me picking a path, or was it like only looking back?
No, I definitely didn't know at the time that I was doing that. Yeah.
So, I count myself lucky that I somehow wound up on the better path, like half the time.
Yeah. Well, I think like whenever I did see something that wasn't the better path, it was like still kind of repulsive to me, and I was like, I don't think I want that. But like, what else is there? Right. Luckily, like I was able to find something else that was there. But like I think if it had gone long enough where I didn't find anything else that was there, then I would have been like, maybe this is the way to go, right? And just like be evil or something. Like that's how I get my life together.
I mean, I'm in development. Like a lot of people still don't know whether I'm on the evil path or the good path.
I think development is good. I'm pro development.
I sleep at night. Yeah. So, but yeah, one thing that like if you wanted to drill down on the topic, there's kind of the different ways that we show up in the world, and I often find there's like this path of steps where how we show up for ourselves then translates into how we show up for our community and for others, right? Like if we're not feeling great about ourselves, we're not making good decisions, like we're not going to show up to be like a good person in our community. We may not even show up to our community. And when I started to look into like personal development, I found like it's actually a very challenging subject to get into, right? Like you said, you're like, I don't even know if there's like a guide on the things that I want to do. And so I started to look at, well, the basis of everything that we do winds up being habits, right? Like, and as kids, we try to learn good habits about like, oh, I do my homework after school, turns into good results. Like, that's a good decision. But then as an adult, you finish work at 5 p.m. and you're like, peace, I'm on my own. I can eat candy all night. Like, nobody's stopping me.
It took me a while to get out of that. That was definitely a habit for
like candy after work.
Oh, like candy was like 50% of my calories. Candy and Coca-Cola.
That's a wicked combo.
No, it was that's so the full combo was I realized that if you're just eating like gummy bears, you get tired of them.
It's true. Yeah.
So you need to have a rotation of different candies that are different enough from each other. And if you just have two, then like you don't want to go back to the other. So you gotta have at least three. Okay. So I had like gummy bears or like some kind of gummy candy.
Yeah.
And then chocolate.
Yeah, okay.
Right? It was like distinctly different.
It's healthier too.
Sure, yeah. Chocolate's healthy, yeah. And then, I don't know, what's the third? And then chips.
Uh-huh.
So between like those three, you have enough variation. You get tired of one, and you you get tired of gummies, you swap to chocolate.
Yeah.
Get tired of chalk, you swap to chips.
Yeah.
Get tired of chips, you swap back to gummies, and you're like ready for it again.
And you know.
And then you're just always having Coca-Cola on the side.
But was it Diet Coke?
No, it was vanilla Coke.
Vanilla Coke's so good.
It's so good.
That's the best one.
Exactly.
They've never made a better one.
And I was just there was like a solid chunk of time I was just consuming those. It's like 50% of my calories, which I don't think was good for me, but I'm glad I got to experience it, you know. And anyway,
well, I'm just sitting there thinking like, you know, there was an inflection point where you're like, man, I'm getting really sick of gummy bears. And like the paths, right? It could have been like, maybe we should eat healthier. And then the other path is like, I should add more to the rotation.
Exactly, yeah. Well, because like now I got to find another piece of candy to entertain myself with.
Right. What different enough. What would have been the other option? Like if you were at the inflection point with the gummy bears?
Well, I think at the time, like I had no reason to not eat gummy bears.
I mean so fair enough. Wait, what age range was this?
When I was 19.
19, okay.
Like first year university was like a lot of candy.
Those are like lost years though. Like those are just years where you're lucky if you have any habits at all. Did you have co-op?
Yeah.
So you got a little bit of like a little slice of 9 to 5.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But like during school especially, like no. It was just candy.
Yeah.
And video games. Like I skipped half of orientation week to play Battlefield 4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was a great time. I was very happy. Yeah.
Were you just in the dorm room?
Yeah.
You were one of those guys.
Yeah. Well, I think I went to like one day of it. Anyway, I feel like we're like way off on tangent here.
I was going somewhere with this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was.
I can keep talking about Battlefield 4, but I don't know if that's where.
Well, it was about habits.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And we were talking about this.
Yeah.
That there's amazing science behind habit building, and some happen automatically, and some you have to really work on. But when you're at different ages and stages of life, like you may know some habits that may be helpful or not, and you may make decisions about those habits. You may be like, I want to go to the gym every day. And then you try that, you get motivated, it goes pretty well. And then you maybe plateau, or you maybe, something disrupts the pattern. Now you're out of flow with the habit, right?
Yeah.
And there's like great books on like, if you want to build a habit, there's Atomic Habits, there's a couple others. I ran into this weird problem professionally where I was like, I don't actually know what professional habits I'm supposed to have. There's a clear difference between people who are very high performance and on that path that we were talking about of like, this person is like going somewhere quickly. And then there's the people in the middle who don't really know what to do.
Yeah.
And then there's the people who are making a lot of bad decisions
Yeah.
and kind of winding up somewhere maybe they don't want to be. And I started looking like actually what differentiates a high performer.
Right.
And it turns out that the answer is they don't actually know what habits they built.
Okay.
Like just like you with the gummy bears, and then you're on like the rotation. Me with snacks, like I love snacks.
Yeah.
But with me, it was like we're gonna make potato wedges in the oven, and we're gonna use like fancy salt and stuff. And then now we're like weeks into this habit of potato wedges, which was amazing, but again, like not the best. Those habits happen automatically. And we also have some professional habits and some personal habits that happen automatically, and they're really good. But we may not even realize, like, oh, that became a habit. It's just how we automatically operate. But then you'll know someone who doesn't have that habit that you do. Yeah. And they'll ask you questions about it, and you'll be like, I don't know, it just happens magically. Right? Like
I think my best habits now, it's not like I didn't choose to pick them up. It was just like I needed to do it for some reason, and now I'm doing it, and I do it every day.
What comes to mind?
I mean, the most obvious one is going to the gym. Yeah. But I think I didn't try and build it as a habit. Yeah. It was just like I need to go to the gym. Yeah. And then I go to, and now it's every day I just think I need to go to the gym. Yeah. Like it's not like, oh, let's build a habit. It's just like I need to go to the gym.
Or else you feel like awful, right?
Yeah, it's bad.
When you're in it, you're like when you don't go, you're like But like the gym is one that.
What else? Okay. I think with most of them, it's just like I feel awful if I don't. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I know that like if I skip it once, I'm gonna feel awful. Like I can't.
Yeah. Okay.
So like, even just like brushing my teeth, it's like I have to brush my teeth.
Oh yeah, that's.
It's almost like it's almost not automatic. Like I think when I think of a habit, it sounds like it's automatic, like you're just gonna do it. And some habits I get are like, but like a lot of them is just like, it's not like it happens without thinking. Yeah. But it's like no, I have to do this. Like it's not. I'm not allowed to not do this. Yeah.
I mean, teeth are. Yeah. Like that for I don't know. Growing up, that was always like I have to. Even when I was like, I used to have to sleep over in architecture school, like on campus, like in the studio because we'd work all night. Backup toothbrush, like it was my everyday carry.
No, you should. You should.
It's so important. Yeah. But so where I'm going with this is that the gym is actually one that's like everybody's trying to build a habit. With the gym, and it's the habit that comes to mind with like almost everyone that you talk to. But the challenge I ran into is like, but what's the gym for everything else? There literally isn't one. And so I went searching and searching and searching, and I'm gonna give you this book. Yeah. Because thank you. It's the answer that I found. I'm gonna like it's called
High Performance Habits.
Okay. Right. And it's like the antithesis of Atomic Habits. Okay. It's not like, hey, how do you do a habit? It's here's people that are really high performers. Yeah. And here's the habits they don't even realize they're doing. And the one that I found really powerful for me was I always want, like this was a goal that needed to turn into a habit, was I always want to show up as like a consistent person at work. Yeah. Right. And I have a very emotionally draining job. I have a very emotionally like challenging job. But when it comes to how you approach your team and build relationships with your team, and even how you like sit with yourself and walk away from the day every day, it was like, how do I just create that like consistency with myself? And in the book, they walk through high performers do that. They show up to every meeting like stable, rational, consistent. You think of like those really good CEOs. They walk into a room that's in chaos and they're just like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Yeah. And it was literally
that's my best meetings and days and stuff is like when I walk in like that. Yeah. Like I'm ready for it. Yeah. And I know what we're doing here. Yeah. And
you're just cool as a cucumber. Yeah. But like if you have a really bad meeting and then a really good or a normal meeting, right? Like if you go from like the worst meeting ever to like a stand up, that transition's tough.
Yeah.
And I found in that book, they were talking about like taking 30 seconds in between meetings to just reset.
Right.
Like, here are my goals. Here's who I want to be, and reset.
That's a really interesting one.
Yeah.
Because I think for so long I was like, I viewed myself as like a machine.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, why would I need to do this? I'm just gonna like do this thing and then do that thing and then do like why? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this waiting 30 seconds? This sounds like some like woo bullshit. Like come on, man. Like I gotta like sit and like breathe. Like I'm just gonna do the other meeting. Like,
just go crush it.
Just go crush it. Right?
Yeah. Like,
right.
Yeah.
But then like no, like you're like sometimes you just gotta sit with yourself for a second and just breathing. Just like.
Yeah.
And then like and then you're good. And
you're
like,
locked in.
And you're locked. But like it makes such a difference. I mean, it may sometimes even more than a few breaths. Right? I didn't want to spend too long breathing here.
Just everybody on the podcast like
just all right. Right? But like I don't know if you watched Dr. K, Healthy Gamer GG on YouTube.
No.
He does mental health content and he ends a lot of his streams with like a meditation and they're just breathing. We're just gonna breathe together.
He's transitioning to the next thing.
Yeah.
Right? He's resetting.
And like your human body like needs that. Unfortunately, we can't be the machines that maybe the rationalist bros like we think we are. We want to be, but
so I'll tell you something interesting.
Yeah.
That transition used to be an automatic habit for a lot of people, and it became no longer an automatic habit. And it's because people used to have to drive to meetings, and they used to have to walk from one meeting to the other.
Yeah.
And then with work from home happening, you're clicking join meeting, and then you're clicking join meeting, and everything's minute to minute. There's no transitions, and so you have to find the moment to transition. Yeah,
you have to be intentional about it now.
Yeah.
And like, well, even if I do have some time, normally I'll like be on my phone. I got like notifications. I got like message this person back, like, and then like there's so many things to do that you don't do that. You don't take up that time.
You're
right.
Like,
well, and even like the same thing I've heard just in a larger scale, I've heard Dr. K talk about how, like if you experience something like really some kind of very emotional meeting or something like way back in the day, we're like hunter-gatherers, okay? And you have some kind of relationship go really emotionally.
Yeah.
Normally you end up just going, you like end up picking berries for like an hour, right? And you're just kind of bored. And that's you sitting with whatever happened. You're gonna sit with it for like a whole hour. Right? Just like you go, it's time to go pick berries. You go, you come back and like you've been sitting, breathing, like doing nothing for an hour, right? And that's how we used to live. It used to be automatic.
Yeah.
And now you can just 0 seconds, just boom, boom, notification, message, back to the next meeting, message, and you don't spend, and just that the 30 seconds just makes so much of a difference. Like we don't. Yeah, I didn't. I thought it wouldn't. I think I wanted to be above it. I wanted to think like I'm so good. Like I don't need this bullshit. Like this woo like breathing shit. Like come on, I'm a fucking rational. Like I'm a man.
Yeah.
Like I'm just gonna crush it. I'm just gonna grind.
Cold-blooded killer.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
But like you are not. Like you evolved to not be. You know.
Yeah.
By like it's impossible to be. And I think when you try to be, then you just fail.
Yeah.
Right? And when you acknowledge that, no, I'm not like a machine, then you can actually be more intentional and actually be more of a machine because you're acknowledging the flaws. I mean, like, okay, no, if I take 30 seconds, then I can go into the meeting actually in control again.
People respond to it really well. You can build really meaningful relationships with people when they know that you're a consistent person because they always know who they're getting.
Right.
And I started to see it and it started to click in for me when I'd have to be on a really tough meeting and then the next meeting like 30 seconds later some of the same people are in that new meeting and you got to show up like cool as a cucumber. Like that meeting wasn't great, now we're dealing with something totally different and like I'm here, I'm present, I'm taking inventory of myself. Like okay, breathe that out, park it. We'll come back to that later because it still needs to be dealt with. But those little transitions are key. But the big transitions are key too because, we go work, little mini transitions. But then like I can't bring that home with me. Right? So there's also the like I love riding the subway home from work. Because like it's a big transition. It's physical. I'm moving. I have time to kind of vibe. Like no one's gonna bug me on the subway. And I try to take that time to like, okay, what part of me am I leaving at work? And how am I showing up at home? And like taking that inventory of myself.
Yeah.
Because like, you know, my partner or people I'm getting together with after work, they don't want to work me.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to work me. But they do want some part of me. So
I love how intentional this is.
Yeah.
I'm not nearly this good at it. Like I'm much more just I go check my phone and like not being this intentional with these kinds of things. And like I think sometimes it accidentally happens to me, right? And then it's useful. And then
But if you're like, oh, that worked well.
Yeah.
Let's do it again, right? Like that actually starts to build a pretty good habit.
Yeah.
Or you can be like, I got home and I actually felt terrible because I didn't do that one thing.
Yeah.
It starts to create a gym for that, which I found fascinating.
Yeah, like I have to do it. Like you got to do these things. You got to sit with yourself a little bit sometimes, and
it can be uncomfortable.
Yeah. You know, I think I have started doing it a little bit where I'll like journal about something really emotional, especially if something really emotional happened. Then I'll journal about it, and that's like the transition for me to whatever I'm doing next, and that's been really, really useful.
Are you a pen writer or are you like a typer?
I'm a typer. Yeah.
Really?
Ideally on my keyboard. Like I have like a really loud mechanical keyboard, and on there, like I'm just, it's so good. It's so.
I love mechanical keyboards.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm way too. It can go on forever. It's. So I find I don't get that release with a keyboard. I need a pen and I need paper, and I'll just like blast through it because I don't know. I find a better connection that way.
No, I don't write. I'm losing the skill of writing, I think.
Really?
With when I do a birthday card, it's like, oh yeah, that's how we do that again.
Okay.
So I think that maybe I've. Maybe that's why it doesn't work as well. I mean, maybe I could try it. Maybe it would work, but I'm like because I'm like a tech guy. I've been like I live on that keyboard. You know, I've eaten like gummies and chocolate and chips off that keyboard. Well, like around it, like, you know, it's. I got a emotional connection, I think, with the keyboard, like a spiritual connection.
Do you just have the one?
I've had this one keyboard for like. Now I probably got it. 2014 maybe.
Okay.
So like a decade. It's a great
right.
keyboard. So actually, yeah. Like I think this keyboard specifically.
That's the one.
But also just like growing up, I was always
Yeah.
on keyboards, and like I was on computers and.
Okay. I have 10 keyboards. So.
Damn. No, I got one nice keyboard. This place is too small to keep 10 keyboards.
I was on my work. I keep about 3 or 4 at work.
Damn.
That's a habit. That's a bad habit. Buying more keyboards.
If you enjoy the hobby,
there you go. It goes back a while.
You gotta give yourself some.
Yeah. I gotta check what else was out here. Oh yeah. This was the next point, which is fascinating. Is recognizing where that satisfaction comes from.
Okay.
Because like when you go to the gym, you feel satisfied or you feel bad.
Yeah.
But like, how do we find out how we feel good about like transitions and about habits that we're building?
Oh, I actually have a lot of thoughts on this.
Okay.
I don't know if you do, but
no.
I was talking to a friend about eating salad.
Yeah.
And vegetables.
Yeah.
And I think I've made it into a habit for myself to eat vegetables and healthy things.
Okay.
And the way I've done it is by thinking about like what is rewarding about it, and like rewarding my brain for doing it.
Okay.
So normally you look at a salad, you're like, that's not going to taste good. I don't want to eat that.
Yeah.
Why would I eat a salad? Why do I eat these vegetables?
I'm not a rabbit.
Okay, yeah, like it doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste good. But what I've done is I've like psyoped myself into, I give myself a reward every time I eat a vegetable of like, of this is good for me, and this is good, and you can change the maybe you're trying to lose weight, or if you need to eat more protein and you go to the gym, right? You can think like, oh, like I'm getting more muscular by eating this protein bar, right? And when you do that, it doesn't taste better, but it feels better to eat it.
Okay.
Right? Because now I know where the satisfaction comes from.
Okay.
And I'm thinking about how satisfying it is. So when I eat the salad, I'm thinking, this is going to fill me up, right? And then I'm not going to be hungry and go eat snacks later.
That's true.
And then I'm going to lose weight.
Okay.
So when I'm eating the salad, I'm not thinking about the flavor of the salad. I'm thinking about how this salad is going to make me lose weight. And now eating the salad is very satisfying.
Okay. Wow, that's fascinating.
And I do this with a lot of things.
Okay, what else?
Let's see. What do I do around here? Let's see. Well, like anything healthy.
Anything healthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then so actually I don't know if you heard about Brian Johnson. He's trying to help everyone like live forever.
Yeah.
So a lot of things now I've like used his framing of when I do this, it's gonna make me live longer.
I live longer.
Right? So it's like, oh, it's time to go to bed. Do I want to go to bed? Well, if I go to bed on time, I'm gonna live longer. So I should go. I want to go to bed. I'm like excited.
You know what? I'm gonna use that.
Yeah.
Ever since COVID, it's taken me like hours and hours and hours to fall asleep, and I love sleep. It just takes forever.
That's what like you gotta think about like what is satisfying about it.
Okay.
Right? What's good? Why should you go to sleep?
Okay.
Like you gotta talk to yourself about that. I guess. I feel like was that the point? I guess.
Yeah.
Right.
It was like, where does the satisfaction with personal habit building come from? I know, like community building looks different, right? But personally, there is no external validation.
Yeah.
Of like I'm doing a good job with myself. It's that internal I get to live longer. Yeah. That's actually a really good one.
Yeah. Well, like I eat something healthy now. I'm thinking about I'm gonna live longer. Like it's gonna fill me up. Like I'm gonna feel better. Like my skin's gonna look better. Like
that's a good list.
Try it. Okay. What else? What else does healthy eating do? Oh, your shits are gonna be better. You're gonna be able to shit faster. You're gonna have more time to do other things. More efficient. Like you're gonna waste less time there. Like it's gonna be easier to wipe. Like it's gonna be cleaner. Like when I eat blueberries, I don't think about all of these things. But like if you think about you eat a scoop of blueberries.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh man, like, my life is going to be so much better because I'm eating these blueberries. They fucking taste delicious.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not that, No,
I loved it. I loved it. This is such a, because those things are also easy to write down. Yeah. Right? And then,
they're pretty simple things. Yeah.
It's funny when you talk about, the gym and, I'm gonna eat this after the gym and it's gonna fill me up, it's gonna be amazing, and then you go do it, right? And then you feel good. I'm one of those sickos that puts the Food Network on at the gym, and I found first the negative feedback loop of I'd start to feel disgusted. If you go to the gym and then you're seeing French fries being fried on the TV, you actually start to feel ugh, your body is I don't think that's good for us right now. And I started to crave avocados after the gym, and then I'd put them in the salad or something. Yeah. That became the reward. I was like, oh my god, avocados would be amazing right now.
So I think I've done a similar thing with unhealthy food.
Okay.
Where I think about how it's gonna make me fat. And I'm not gonna look hot.
Yeah,
right? And so when I eat it, it's less satisfying than it would otherwise be to eat it. Now, it depends on my mindset. And some days I'm just fuck it. I don't give a shit today.
I've been to McDonald's late at night with you.
It's not. But
it's not ever present.
Yeah, it's not ever present. Well, and I think I don't mind a certain level of degeneracy. I don't have to live a perfectly healthy life all the time. But if I think more in those terms then I will be more healthy overall. Right?
Okay.
I'll do more good habits.
Yeah.
If I think of the good habits in a positive way and the negative habits in a negative way, then
a lot of your habits are about health.
Yeah, I guess so. What other habits do I do?
Well, here's the opposite question. Where do you wish you had better habits?
Yeah. I don't know. That's a good question.
Right?
Because I'm sure I have room to improve. But I don't know if I'm feeling... That's a good question.
It's almost like we don't know what we don't know sometimes.
Yeah. Huh. It's interesting because I'm like, we're at my house and I can just like look around and be like, what do I do around here that's like not ideal? Yeah, I think like I eat pretty well.
Yeah.
For sure. Health wise, I'm doing like, sleep is pretty good.
You're crushing it.
Thank you.
You're locked in.
I think I am like pretty locked in. But work. I think I'm pretty good with work. I think I could take a little more initiative. I think that's the feedback I give myself at work.
Yeah.
And maybe more I know how to do it though.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't know how to do it. I just haven't got around to doing it.
Yeah.
Because I got other things going on.
Yeah. No, that's fair. But it's an interesting question, right?
Well,
like, where am I?
There's got to be something that I'm not doing as well as I could.
Yeah, okay.
I could build some habit that, like, I don't know how to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, oh, well, like, there's this thing, but, like, I know how to do it. I just haven't got around to working on that one yet. And this one, and, like, I am working on a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But, like, what am I not working on that I don't know I need to work on? I don't know.
I will tell you.
Because, like, stuff's pretty good.
Okay. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
I will tell you where I had, like, a huge failing. And I had to build, like, a crazy habit around it. And I didn't even realize that this had, like, become a habit until my now fiance, she was like, you're really good at this. And I was like, huh. Well, that's weird. I had to get really good at gift giving. Like, really locked in at gift giving.
Okay.
And because, like, we don't know something, we're missing something, or something's, like, not a good habit until something happens, something big happens, right? And first year university is rough, like, for everyone, right? And I was in architecture school. It was rough. I didn't get to come home for Thanksgiving, nothing. It was like just raw dogging it all the way through because of the workload. So I arrived home Christmas Eve morning from university, and I had like basically like 6 hours to like figure out Christmas for like my whole family, like gifts, everything. Like I was running around. It was crazy. It sucked. And my dad was like, oh yeah, we're good on this. Like just do this. So anyway, so Christmas morning comes around and we get through all the gifts, and then my mom starts crying. And she's just like staring at me, and she's like, you didn't get me anything for Christmas. And I was like, no, I was part of that group gift. And then she was like, you didn't get me anything for Christmas. And I was like, oh no. And I made my mom cry on Christmas, which sucked. That was like the worst. And then I was like, I have to figure out this like gift giving thing, because everything's like last minute and kind of sucks. Yeah. And it wound up becoming like, what are we now? We just finished 2024. So it wound up becoming like almost a 10-year thing, that process that I had to go through of like starting to build all the little habits that could get me good at gift giving. And it sounds kind of like vain, or it sounds kind of like, you know, okay, that doesn't matter so much or whatever. But from speaking with like other guys, especially, we're cut so much slack around this that that we get away with like really bad habits, and gift giving is a way for us to show up, you know, for ourselves, but also for someone else, because it actually requires a lot of vulnerability to think about your relationship with someone else, and then go through the process of figuring out what they want, what you're interested in giving them, finding a match, and then making it happen. And that's something that like I've had to actually spend a lot of time journaling about. But like, wait, when did this even happen? That I started to like put a lot more time and intention into this. And especially like I had to set up like calendar reminders like 2 weeks out, like figure out this gift for this person. 3 months out, like Christmas is coming, you gotta figure out this. And it's one of those habits where like if you had asked me like where are you lacking, I would have been like I don't know, right? And then and then something happened and I had to get really good at it. And now I've actually had to spend a lot more time being like, where else do I have that void that I have to like get locked in on?
Yeah, it takes a lot of self-reflection to figure out what
Yeah.
I know how to do that. I think I wasn't in that mindset of like where am I failing? I guess.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's like you failed. You made your mom cry, and like
it's a hard question to ask
how to do that better. Yeah. Where am I making people cry? Like, you know what? I think I'm making myself cry actually. But
like right now?
Like not right now,
No,
but like in general these days. And I don't think you know what? This is actually a good one. Is I don't have a good habit for like giving myself time to myself and like just enjoying myself and like watching a movie by myself or something and I think this has a lot to do with like my ADHD and how because I recently started Vyvanse, right?
Yeah.
I think I mentioned to you, and before it, I think my ADHD like forced me to get a lot of time to myself, where I just like wasting time.
Yeah.
Right, and I just end up watching like some like fun YouTube video, and then, but it was unintentional. I didn't want to. It's not because I wanted to spend time with myself. It was just like I had no choice because I couldn't control myself. And now I'm on Vyvanse and I can control myself.
Okay.
So because of that, like the spending time with myself in the past was always seen as, I always thought as like a detriment.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, I don't want to be doing this. I didn't choose to do this. So now that I have control, I'm like, let's not do those things.
Okay.
All the things that I wished I was doing, instead of watching some random YouTube video or scrolling, I'm going to go and do those instead and stop scrolling.
Okay.
And stop watching YouTube.
Okay.
And now, and I have like, because I guess I made great habits for doing those things, and now in Vyvanse they're like supercharged.
Right.
But now I spend all my time doing like great things like outside for other people, like for myself, but like external things, right? And so now there's no time being spent on me, and there's no habit for that at all.
Right.
Because I just spend all day like doing habits outside of me. And so I like recently I've been noticing like I'm feeling, I don't know if it's burnt out, but like I want some time for myself, and I have no habit for this at all.
Okay.
And I'm just like it's like randomly cropped up a little bit here, a little bit there, and just like trying to figure out like how do I like give myself time to just like watch a movie or watch some TV, just like take a break.
It's a good question. And it also has to be a solution that you like I could tell you right now, like set like a calendar block or something, right? But it actually has to be something that you decide how it's gonna, what the rules of it are gonna be.
I guess like I don't prioritize those things. So like I'll like maybe I'm like, oh, you know, tonight I'll like spend it like on my own, just like watch it. Like I'm gonna watch this movie that I wanted to watch. But then like someone's like, hey, like this thing came up, like it's gonna be cool. It's like a good opportunity. I'm like, man, that sounds great. I want to go to that. Like, why am I just gonna sit at home and watch a movie? And then like I don't. Yeah. And like there's a month passes. And I've been like out every day, like at some cool thing or something, or someone invited me to something, or like I was like, oh, I gotta like organize this thing because like these people are expecting me to, and then there's no time spent watching a movie at home, which is like
I never saw Dune 2.
I did see it, but like
good.
Well, yeah. No, I know Dune I loved.
Okay, that got prioritized.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not I like schedule it with other people. Like it was like a thing, right? It wasn't like. I think it's like it's like spending time alone with myself is what I don't prioritize.
Because you haven't made it a thing.
Yeah, it's not.
You gotta be like.
It's not a priority at all.
Why do I need
that? Well, then I think this goes back to the thing we were saying earlier about the habits of the like. Why do I need to spend 30 seconds in between the meetings just sitting with myself and breathing? Yeah. Like I got things to do. Like I got people to message back. Like I got this. Like I could go clean something in the house. Like why I got 30 seconds, like the dishwasher could be loaded in 30 seconds before the next meeting, and I can click on and it'll be running during the meeting. And then when the meeting's done, dishwasher will be done and like boom.
Locked in.
But it's like but then I go into the meeting and I'm like thinking about the dishes. I'm not thinking about the meeting. And I'm still thinking about the last meeting where I got stressed out because it was a stressful meeting. Yeah. And then it's just like, oh man.
You gotta make it a thing.
I do.
I had to start like scheduling time for myself.
I said never done that.
To just zone out on Google Maps.
Yeah, I've never done.
Like this.
Not Google Maps, but like okay, no, not Google Maps. I've never scheduled time alone myself to do something fun like that.
It was a huge barrier
Yeah.
to me moving in with my partner, especially during COVID, was that when I was staying at her place or when she was staying at mine, it was a lot of togetherness.
Yeah.
And I had this huge fear of like, what happens to like me and my goals in my life, like all that personal me time. Like if we move in together, I'm just gonna like fade into the background. And it was a huge barrier. It was one like we had to figure out, and one that we're still trying to figure out. Like,
I definitely understand that. With my partner too. Like, if she spends a lot of time at my place, then like it starts to blur. Yeah, and I think too, it's like because when you're not together, then you're like you miss each other. You come back, you're like, oh well, we're together. This is kind of like a special opportunity. We got to spend all the time together. Yeah. But then if she's spending a lot of time at my place, actually, it's like, no, like, we don't need to spend every moment together. This is not a date. We're not on a 2-week-long date, right? Like, we got to be, like, separate people still. Like, you got to have your time. I got to have my time. Like, don't, just, we do not talk right now. That's okay, even though we're around.
Well, so it almost shocked me with Maria when she would just, like, get up and just go do her own thing. Yeah. Like she would
my partner does that too. She's like and I'm like, oh, like, hey, how's it? She's like, no, I'm like doing my thing right now. Like, you have to like fuck off. And I'm like, what? But no, like now I'm doing that. Okay. And I'm like, I never realized I would need that. But I was like, no, I need I need you to fuck off. Like,
I mean, I can't say I've said that. But
I think it's when you're not used to setting like those kinds of boundaries, I think sometimes it's easier to start with like being like aggressive, and then you have it respected. No, I mean it's easier to, because like I think for me it's like I didn't expect that I was allowed to even.
That was it with me. Like I don't know.
And now am I allowed? Now we're both more respectful to each other, I think, but because both of us were not used to being allowed to ask for.
Oh, interesting.
That. So then she started doing it first, and she was like kind of aggressive about it at first, and I was like. That's rude, but like I guess you're allowed to ask for that. Yeah. And then I never did that, and now I'm like, no, I need to ask for that, and then.
Yeah, it's I don't even think Maria asked for it. Yeah. Like she would just get up and just go start watching something on TV or YouTube or something. Yeah. Or she'll just pull out a whole craft kit and just start doing like a 4-hour craft. Yeah. Like, and I'm like,
what if you interrupt her or something? Because you're like,
oh, she'll chat, whatever. Okay. She's like, I'm doing this now. Yeah. Yeah. And then I will do something else later. Whereas I was sitting there like, wait, now it's time to do like crafts or hobbies or something. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah, it's like I didn't know it was time to like go do our own thing. Yeah. Right, but no, you can just do that. I guess if that's what you want to do right now, like.
But for me, it's also this like part of my ADHD where I now have this block of time where I don't have an action plan for it. Yeah. And I just have like decision paralysis. I'm like, there's like 50 things I could do right now, so I just won't do anything.
That's why I always plan something for myself.
Right. Yeah.
But I rarely plan things with myself. I'm always planning things with other people. Okay, or some kind of activity or
what do you want to do with yourself?
I don't even know.
Like, pick something.
Well, I've been working on, like, a lot of, like, spiritual philosophy stuff, and I do want to do a lot of writing about that. That's good. You know what? I think that would be a good one. I think I got to give myself time for that, because I think I've noticed that when I don't, then it just starts to come out. Yeah. And I'm just, like, brushing my teeth, and I'm like, oh, man, I got to, like, go write about this thing. And then because it's been, like, it's been stuck in my head for, like, a week, and I didn't write it, and then it just becomes, like, involuntary, and then I'm just, like, in the middle of the day, I'm just, like going like talking to ChatGPT or something, and then, but like if I give myself that time, then maybe I won't have as strong of a like need to go do it because I did it yesterday. It's fine. Like I booked 2 hours with myself to just like write about my thing, and then
I use voice notes transcribes now too. Yeah. Because like a voice note to me is almost useless because I don't absorb anything.
Yeah, you gotta listen to it again. Like you can't skim it. Like,
no, I read way faster than people talk. Yeah, but now it transcribes it, and I can copy and paste that, and I actually feel like, oh, that was productive. That was actually a good use of
a good idea.
A couple minutes to just like get those thoughts out there. Yeah,
no, for sure. Because like I think especially when I'm reading my own notes back,
Yeah.
like I know what I wrote, so I don't actually read the whole thing. I'm just like reading like, okay, this was this sentence, this is what happened in this sentence, this is what happened in this sentence, like. But then if I transcribe, I gotta like spend the whole like 2 minutes, or if I listen to the voice, I gotta listen to the whole 2 minutes.
I don't know.
It takes
So you're gonna put time with yourself.
Damn. Okay. Yeah, I guess so.
Like I don't know. It sounds like we both need to
No, I need
some
that.
time for ourselves. Yeah. How will you know that you're like? How will you know where satisfaction comes from with that?
Yeah, I gotta. Yeah. You're right. I have to.
What's the salad?
Yeah. What? And I think that because the question I was gonna ask is like, why is this a priority?
Yeah,
because
that's a good one.
Sometimes I'm like, I'll just book this evening with myself, but because there's no like salad, there's no like incentive, there's no satisfaction with it.
Mm-hmm.
Then if somebody else suggests, let's do this thing that day, then I'm like, yeah, okay, because booking time with myself was not that important because there was no satisfaction in it. So like, yeah, I'll go do that thing instead of spending time with myself.
But like the long-term impact of booking time with yourself is it's you get better at showing up for other people. Yeah. Because you're not burnt out. Because you've had that time to like decompress or deal with whatever it is you need to deal with. Yeah. It's an interesting thing. It's 100%. Like I'm constantly trying to figure out what should I do? How should I show up? What habit do I not have that's holding me back? Mm-hmm. That's why like I love that book. Yeah. So this is a very good question. I'm glad this came up. This is what, we're getting locked in right now. Oh yeah. Why? You know what? I think the idea of like it's gonna help me be better in my relationships. Like when I go to those other things, I'm gonna show up better. Yeah. I feel like I think a lot of the things with this I've thought about it is it's not. But I don't know if that's like the best framing for myself, right? Like sometimes, like you're eating a salad to be healthier, but though you frame it for yourself as like it's gonna help me get skinnier and look hot, right? So you eat a salad, you're thinking I'm gonna look hot, but like you've kind of like tricked yourself into being healthier now, right? Yeah. And sometimes you gotta work with what you got, and then and then once I do that, I'll find like, there's actually other benefits to this, and I can start thinking about what those benefits are. But at least for now, it's like, if I don't do this, I'm not going to be able to show up in my relationship when I do have things planned. So I think that's a good start for me because like that, that'll work. For me, it was like booking time with myself, which I will like fully admit, still not amazing at. Mm. Still not amazing at prioritizing it. Still not amazing at like capitalizing on the time as it happens. Yeah. I wind up with like big screen and small screen, right? Like I'm on blue sky. Like that's not being with yourself. That's the thing. Like I gotta like turn my notifications off. Yeah. Like I'm not responding to people for this chunk of time, right? Like. But I found, and what made it a higher priority for me was exactly that, the relationships. Because the more time I took for myself, the less I was trying to squeeze in those same actions in and around spending time with my partner. Okay. So I was actually like less distracted. Yeah. And I wasn't like going off and looking things up or whatever, doing my own thing while trying to spend quality time with her. Right. And that started to like really meaningfully shift our relationship, like just better and better and better. Yeah. Cool. I like this. Yeah. But I will say we actually have talked about 2 paths. Yeah. And then we focused on 1 path, all these good habits that like you're locked in on, you're crushing, you're finding new ones, you're keeping going. The thing I found really concerning, and like one of the things where I was like, gosh, we got to talk about this, is like all the bad habits that I'm seeing emerging with a lot of my friends that are like these like dopamine fueled habits. I don't know what you've seen, but like the legalization of sports gambling has been like a pandemic on dudes that I know. And I keep trying to tell them like, this entire technology mechanism like preys on your hunter-gatherer instincts, and it goes all the way back like centuries, and like you gotta figure out the good habits, because this is not good.
I think, yeah, no, it's definitely bad. I haven't seen too much of it with my friends yet.
All right, you're lucky.
I've seen some, but it is definitely very bad. And I think, like, to me, it's reminiscent of just like there's a lot of bad habits out there, like masturbation, porn as like an addiction,
dopamine again.
Yeah, right. Like various drugs, drinking. Like I think all these things. The way I see them, and this is I learned a lot from. I watch a lot of Dr. K.
He sounds amazing.
He's fucking fantastic, and so the way he talks about just addictions in general, is there something in your life that doesn't feel good and you're trying to escape it?
Yeah.
So you go to something that feels good, and you're doing that, in the to escape from the thing, right? And he says the solution to the addiction is not necessarily to like stop the addiction.
Yes.
To find something else for you to do with your time. It's to build the good habits. Because, like, I used to, like, play video games all the time, right?
Yeah.
And now I think maybe I need to play a little bit more video games with my, spend some time with myself playing video games. Yeah. But I definitely was, like, on the spending way too much time playing video games. And I think the reason I play way less now is because I have other things to do that are good.
Yeah.
Right?
So one of the things I find fascinating is that we think of like dopamine as the pleasure drug. Yeah. But there's actually 3 pleasure drugs.
Right.
And dopamine is the quick one. But like if you can find community and start to get that like serotonin hit, like that is so much more powerful. But what I found from like talking to my friends, you feel warm and fuzzy. Like that's the like I'm at a rave and we're just like vibing and it's a good time. Even getting together to see other people, like it releases it. But I think
it's a lot more satisfying. For sure.
And then you're less likely, you've replaced the dopamine with the serotonin. You're less likely you're not playing any video games, right? You're like, you know what? Maybe I should go back. But what I've found with, we talk about the good habits and the bad habits, these like kind of diverging paths. What I found is like so many of my friends, those bad habits compound because they feel like they're getting left behind from all the people I see with the good habits, kind of like, they're on a little rocket ship and they're like shooting ahead. And that's why, I started to think about like, gosh, I got to build some good habits before the bad habits like take me. Right. And it's been a huge concern of mine, like how much these bad habits are being exploited now. Yeah. It's insane.
Yeah. It's like the technology now is so good at, if you're not like mentally equipped to not get engaged with them, then like they're very good at just taking control of your brain. Yeah. Basically, right? I think it's, and the way I think of it is like, if you're not in control of your brain, if you're not being intentional about like, I'm going to think about this and make this feel good and this, and like, in the way I'm describing eating salad, right? If you're not that intentional about your life, then like, and then you're that super in control of your brain. And I think, then like they're going to be, and I think it's interesting the way I think of being in control of your brain. Cause I think in the past, I used to think of it as like a very like rationalist version of being in controlling your brain. Like, I'm going to like be a machine and like do this, but actually you are not a machine. And I think when you try and operate that way, then all the parts of your brain that are not a machine are not in your control. Yes. And they're just like, it's the Wild West. And whoever comes in and decides to take control of the monkey parts of your brain, they're in control of it now. And these guys are really good.
They're very good
at taking control of the monkey sides of your brain if you're not doing it. So if you're like, I'm going to be, rational, like I'm going to be a fucking robot, and you're not like processing your emotions, then they're going to do that for you. And they're going to make sure that like, your wallet ends up like falling, just drained into their into the app, right?
see one area where you're super in control.
Yeah.
I notice about you.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know even to what extent you understand this, is that you are extraordinarily good at like Twitter and at like Blue Sky, but you're good at not being on it as well, right? Like,
yes.
Whereas I'm like doom scrolling like crazy.
I do spend a lot of more time than I probably should on it.
Yeah.
I think with Vyvanse, I've been able to decrease that a decent bit.
Okay.
Right, and I'm able to be like more intentional. But I think like I'm very intentional about doing that. Of like tweeting is good and like scrolling is bad. And so when I catch myself scrolling, I'm like, is this what I want to do right now? And oftentimes it's no. And that's why now I'm doing it less. But maybe I need to give myself some time to just scroll, right? But like if I'm out and I have some like cool thought worth putting on Twitter, I'll take my phone out, I'll tweet it, I'll just close it immediately, right? I don't let myself look at the app at all.
You're just like,
right? I just put it out there and like, you know, maybe hopefully somebody sees it. And
I wish they had a widget where I could just...
Yeah, you just put in a tweet and it would just send, you don't have to open the app.
Yeah,
right?
Nothing.
No, like they're so good at getting you locked into their thing instead of what you want to be locked into.
Have you read Gamification by Yu Kai Chao?
I have not, but I have a feeling I know where it's going.
This dude wrote the textbook on gamification and all the different cycles because he was addicted to Diablo and then realized it was like destroying his life.
Yeah.
And he like spent his entire university degree like researching all the different, like the entire cycle he went through with Diablo. He researched how every single stage worked and he like built this model. And it's really cool to understand because you've gone through it naturally so many times. Yeah. And when you start to think about like, wait, how can I apply this to like something completely different, like a habit I want to build? Yeah. Right.
Well, I think that's just what I'm doing is I'm giving myself rewards when I eat a salad.
Rewards.
Giving myself a punishment when I eat a piece of candy.
But then what happens when you hit endgame?
Yeah.
Like, what does endgame look like?
Well, I think the way I understand endgame is like your life, your goals are always going to be changing, and your habits are going to be changing. Yeah. Like you're never going to have the perfect set of habits for today. No. Like the end goal is almost being able to adapt your habits to the situation. Yeah. Right? And being like so in control of the things that you can't be in control of, like your emotions, that you know how to adapt. Yeah. So like, okay, I'm feeling like really angry right now. I know what to do about that. Yeah. Right? Instead of just like, no, I'm just gonna keep going. Like actually, like this is what I need to do in this moment, right?
You're speed running the solution.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Like if you already know what this, like you're like, I know how to deal with this. I can just speed run to the end result. I don't have to re-go through it the entire time. Like there's certain habits you can play on New Game Plus. Yeah. I'm making a video game metaphor here.
But exactly. So like if I want to build a new habit, like I know how to do it now. Yeah. Right? Yeah. Because I've learned that skill. And exactly. And then every time you need to build a new habit, you know, and every time because I think a lot of habits, they might have been actually useful in the past. Yeah. Right? Or bad habits. They might have been good habits in the past, and now they're bad habits, and you gotta rewrite that. And if you know how to do that, then you're good to go. You can do whatever you want.
I've found like the modern person has to be so much more strategic. Like hand-to-hand combat is very rare. Yeah. Now, like you can be good at it and you can go do it in like rare circumstances, but like email is turn-based strategy. Yeah. Right? And a lot of people are not very good at managing their emotions around like turn-based strategy, and the emotions that would have been helpful with like hand-to-hand combat are terrible for email. And that's something I've noticed is like a lot of times we're actually so used to like live messaging people almost like direct in the DMs that people don't take that like transition pause before like sending an email. Yeah. And we're just like drafting in. It's like, okay, God, it's out. And it's
you do have the opportunity to take your time and respond. I like that. Yeah.
You don't actually owe someone like a response very quickly.
Well, even if someone's texting you, for whatever reason in my head, I have this idea of, I got to respond right now. And it's like, actually, like, you don't. Like, even if you read their message and there's a red... you actually don't have to respond right now. Yeah. That's okay. you can respond later.
Yeah.
And that's, I think that like trying to frame it that way for myself is like seeing the notification, just not responding immediately has been really good for me.
I like my Discord has like no notifications turned on because it's just like I'm on like a bunch of servers. And it's literally impossible to keep up.
I gotta turn some more off, honestly.
Yeah.
I have too many. I have like a lot off, but not everything, and it's like it's okay to not be caught up, you know. So,
yeah, you can just let it like ride.
Yeah.
So we've talked about like showing up for ourselves.
Yeah.
But then there's also like, how do we show up for community?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the guys that, you know, I think there's like a big loneliness epidemic. And there's also this second loneliness epidemic, which is less talked about. And it's that because a lot of us are finding ourselves more isolated, we're actually putting a lot more social expectations on our partner to fulfill. Right? Like we're like, okay, well, you're the only person I hang out with, so you need to fulfill like 20 different roles. Whereas it's like, we actually do need a community of like other people.
I think especially for guys, this is a really big one. Like I know when I was younger, like I didn't have any close emotional connections with anybody.
Yeah.
And I thought like, oh man, when I get a girlfriend, like I'm gonna have a close emotional connection with her, and like she's gonna be like everything. And it's like that's not good in so many ways.
No.
And then and like now I do have like luckily a lot of close emotional connections with a lot of people, and that's really good. But like there's so much about that's not the expectation. That's not what we think of normal. Like that stuff's so important.
Yeah, and it's hard to find, right? Especially like you're working 9 to 5. You don't want to like build deep, vulnerable emotional connections with like your coworkers or something, right? And so it's like, well, where do I find this other group? And it's something that you have done very successfully.
Thank you.
And it's like incredible because like you literally changed politics in Toronto.
Thank you.
In like the most incredible way. And then I'm like, you know, was that an intentional undertaking? Like, what were the steps that led to you being like, you know, I need to make something happen?
Honestly, I think I wanted to do something with my time.
Yeah.
And I think I wanted to do so. I think it was, I had less to escape from.
Okay.
At one point in my life. So I didn't want to just like play video games and escape all the time. And so I was like, what can I do? And I was like, well, let's find some interesting people and let's get together and let's start talking about housing.
Yeah.
And then it just kind of snowballed from there. And I think I'm very, with these things, like very in the moment, just thinking about what am I doing today? What is there to do today? And like, I think it started at one point where like, it was like, hey, let's go to one of these development meetings and show up and be YIMBYs. And
did it work?
Yeah, it was great. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now we've got people going all the time, right? There's a whole organization of it. Like, I probably don't show up as much as I should these days, but I think I think it's, in the last couple of months especially, I'm like, I think I need to be taking some more time to myself.
Yeah.
At this point, so.
Those meetings are really exhausting.
Yeah.
Like, the emotional arc you have to go through is a little intense.
It's true. It is a lot. I don't think it's in some senses it's pretty easy, but like emotionally it's actually quite difficult to like be yelled at by someone in power.
And people who are supposed to be your community members.
Yeah.
Right? They're supposed to be your neighbors. Like, you don't have to be friends, but you are supposed to be existing together.
Yeah, like I've had horrid things said to me on some of these meetings. And I just like laugh it off, but like
Well, you also have a community of other people.
Yeah,
right?
that's very helpful.
If you were an individual going.
Well, I've been to some as in, like, I'm the only one that shows up, you know, from the YIMBY community. And then people say horrid shit, and you're like, holy shit, damn.
They don't like me.
Yeah.
Yeah. What challenges did you face trying to, like, organize a group, like, find a group?
I mean, I think the main thing when you're... I think the number one challenge and the piece of advice to give to anyone starting a group and any kind of like social group, and I think this is true of like I think most things that I've learned, like when you're trying to start something new in life, is just you're not going to have success right away, and that's okay. And like I organize like the monthly Toronto Liberals meetup for people that don't know, and we've definitely had ones where like I was the only one, or like one other person shows up, right, and that's really demotivating, right?
Yes,
and you just gotta do another one, and just do another one, and just keep going, and like. If your idea is good and there's people out there that are interested in it, eventually you'll start to build something and
pick up steam.
Yeah, you'll pick up steam, and like maybe someone has been to, like somebody goes to one for the first time, they're like, oh, it's actually fun.
Yeah.
And now they start becoming a regular, and then and I think part of it too is like even if you just do like one, right, and like half the people that potentially could, like maybe there's like 4 people that could go, okay, and half of them are busy, and then one of them doesn't like it, of the 2 that showed up, right? The next time you have like one guy that's gonna come, right?
Yeah.
And then he comes, and then you're like, oh, only one person came, but like, actually maybe, but like maybe the other 2 they're also busy again next month, right?
Yeah.
But then maybe next time all 3 of them come, and then 2 of them are like, oh, actually this is really good. Let me invite some friends, right? It's like people are busy, and I think the main thing is like if you didn't have that one where like now 4 people showed up, right? Because the last one only one person showed up. Then you would have stopped early, and like you would have stopped before it started steamrolling. Just 'cause sometimes people are busy, and you pick the wrong date, and you don't know what date to pick because like you don't know these people yet. You haven't formed the community. You don't know what date works and doesn't for people. You just gotta keep it going, and then people will be like, "Hey, actually, like maybe I didn't." I mean, even for myself, like I've had someone's like, "Oh, you should go check out this meetup." I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then like 1 month I can't make it, and the next month I can't make it, and like 3-4 months later I can't make it, but like. The person keeps doing it every month, right? And then the 5th month, I'm like, you know what? I can actually make this one. I can make it a priority. And like I heard some good things from somebody else about it. So now I really want to go, right? And then the 5th time, I am going, right? But like if that person hadn't if it wasn't happening every month, like the 5th month now, like Ramsey's not going to make it there, right?
No.
You just gotta keep doing it, like keep it casual, and yeah, just keep advertising it as you can, like put it out where you need to.
It's one of those big challenges when there isn't like a school or like institutional infrastructure around it. Like it was really easy in school.
In school, it's a lot easier, right? Because people are showing up, and I think in school people have less going on in their lives. Because they're just like at school, right? And like their family's not around. The friends are the school friends. It's not like you have school friends and outside of school friends normally, right? And like versus like if you work. Friends and then your real friends, right? And then like if you're doing a hobby at school, it's probably related to your school too, and you're seeing your school friends there, like it's all just one single community. But like, once you leave school, then it's so much more. People are busy, fragmented, like people have more relationships going on, like
further away too, those
commutes, because not everyone's not at the school every day.
Like that's what has been so helpful for me when it comes to like building communities, building friendships, was living downtown. My friends don't have to like drive in from Bradford and then park somewhere and then take the GO and then figure out, are they staying over here or something. Like you're up the street from me. Alex is like a 10-minute walk away. Other people, like it's actually made it so much easier to like get people together. It's like living closer together.
Well, and what I really like about my place, I feel like it's a very central location.
Yes.
In Toronto, so I have access to everyone.
Yeah.
Right?
It's and it's why we actually started hosting more at our place, because we were the halfway point for everyone.
Right. Yeah.
And it created this habit of like just low cost, buy some balloons, buy some food, and you can actually have a fun thing that doesn't cost your friends a lot of money.
Yeah, hosting is not as hard as you might think, and I think, like for me, I'm often too perfectionist about a lot of things. I think sometimes you just got to go in it and just do it, and it seems to work out. Like people's expectations are not that high as long as their friends are there.
It does feel like there's a lot of pressure though.
It does feel like
there's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, but it's like you get some balloons, like you get some food, you get some plates, like as long as the friends are like it's like if everyone's already friends or something too, and you're hosting something, like people will be fine.
have you ever faced like that challenge of like merging two groups?
Yeah, I've tried to. It's hard to sometimes merge people, but I don't know. Never like two groups properly.
Okay.
But have you dealt with that?
Well, it's my partner, big friend group.
Yeah.
Me, friend group.
That is yeah.
Getting together for a party. People are always kind of like, socializing with people they know.
Mm-hmm.
And what we did to actually just kind of get people to talk to each other was we just decided to always have some kind of a random weird game.
Okay.
That we'd do. So like we just make up like the stupidest game.
Yeah.
And just get people to play it. And then people would start talking to each other.
Yeah. So my partner Natasha really likes hosting.
Okay.
And she always has some like actually very well thought out game.
Okay.
That she came up with.
Okay.
Every single time. And I think because I think she does that. She has a lot of friends from different circles.
Yeah.
And that's how she brings them together. It's exactly the same thing.
My problem is all my friends want to talk about is housing. And none of my partner's friends want to talk about housing. Like it's like no.
Yeah.
They hear my partner complain about me talking about housing all the time.
Yeah.
And then all my friends get together and want to talk about housing. So we have, at one party we banned like the word housing. And we introduced, a couple different games. One funny one that we did was we intentionally introduced every person that was showing up. Like, okay, everybody, this is Ramsey, that kind of thing, right? And then like we just called a time and like push the two friend groups apart. We're like, okay, you guys go over there, you guys go over there. And it was like that game, like the Guess Who game or whatever, where like they had to correctly name everyone on the other side of the room. And that created a lot of fun. Yeah. And it was actually like interesting challenge.
Did the two sides like work together with everyone on their side?
They were like, trying to work together. Do all of us know
all of them?
Yeah.
That's like it's almost easy too, because I feel like some of these I feel like put on the spot. I'm like, oh, it's kind of like that's like it's easy. You're all a team. Like you guys have no excuse for not knowing all of their names.
But wouldn't you guess how difficult that was?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
And we're just sitting there like, oh my gosh, no one knows each other. But it's a challenge hosting, and I found a lot of guys especially hesitant to do it. And I noticed this guy on Twitter who hosted a lot, and he actually got famous for hosting parties. Yeah. And I will say this as the other book where I was like, this is an amazing book, and it's by this guy Nick Gray. Yeah. And it's called The 2-Hour Cocktail Party, and it is called How to Build Bigger Relationships with Small Gatherings. And I wanted to give you a copy of it because I found it so helpful, and like re-gift it to someone if you need to. But what I loved about it was like this complete checklist for like hosting something, so that anything where you're like, oh, I feel nervous about this, he's like, no, we got it. And the big one, which is the antithesis of the game that I just described, is name tags. Every single one of his parties, name tags. And then the other thing he does is he gives you
I do kind of like that, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a name tag.
I feel like I'm hesitant to use name tags because it feels like corny, but like I feel when there's a name tag, I'm much more comfortable.
And you're just like zeroing because
like I forget people's names and stuff, and then like I don't want to talk to the person now because I forgot their name and I feel bad about it. Yeah. Or maybe I met the person last time. Yeah. And I forgot their name, and now I'm like, oh man, I can't talk to this guy because like I don't know his name, and he's gonna think he's gonna notice that like every time I refer to him, I'm gonna say he. And oh man, like, I'm just gonna stay away from this guy. I don't want to deal with this shit. Like,
I always introduce two other people. Yeah, that's how I get around that. I always find someone I know and introduce them to this.
Yeah, and then they say their names for you. Yeah. I've had that happen. I'm like, bless, thank you for saying your name to the because now I know your name.
Or I'll be like, I don't think I have you on LinkedIn. That's a good one. Yeah. It depends on the setting, of course. Yeah, don't add random.
Well, even if it's someone like new that you can get their number or something, or I'll be like, yeah. I think this will be good because like I mean, I do a lot of hosting, but like, I'm sure there's so much that like I missed that I'm like, oh my, oh man, that's what a problem. Like, I wish that was solved for me. Like,
so one of the ones I love was he tells you how to address people's nerves. Mm-hmm. So like, he's like, hey, if you have a friend who's actually like fairly nervous, or if you have someone new coming who doesn't know a lot of people, or if they arrive early, especially, give them a task that lets them meet everyone. So one of them is like, okay, you have someone brand new, they show up, assign them to the name tag station. Now you're putting them in actually a pretty stable posting that they're in a lot of control about how much they interact with someone.
It's relatively easy too.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's also like, then all they have to say is, hey, we're doing name tags. Can you do a name tag? And people will be like, sure, what? Oh, and then they start talking. And now that person knows literally every single person that attended your party.
Yeah. Honestly, this is, I mean, you just pointed out a big habit that I don't do.
Okay.
At parties, which is I don't delegate.
You don't delegate?
No.
Okay.
Maybe I have like one other person hosting with me and like we'll work on stuff.
Yeah.
But like I'm just doing everything and I'm just like the whole party I'm just like running around. Like, okay, this is did you get this? Did you get the like and even the name tag station I would just like have it there and like hope somebody figures it out and like I'll like show up like 5 minutes later, be like, oh, did you guys get the name tags? Oh, let me get you your name tags. Like,
and people, because they're nervous about this new context, they're happy to be given a job.
And now they don't have to go socialize.
No.
You know, I as someone who definitely has used to have a lot of social anxiety, definitely has some left. That sounds like I show up at a party, I don't know what's going on, someone signs me to the name tag station. That sounds like, oh man, I don't have to like worry about like standing in the corner, not knowing who to talk to. I'm the name tag guy.
Or you're on your phone.
Yeah, now I'm the name tag guy. I just standing here with the name tag.
Locked in.
Like exactly.
Yeah.
You're like you got a job now. You know?
Or I'll put someone on like, hey, can you like refill the chips? Like I feel like we're running low on like chip bowls that are like all over the place. Like, would you mind just grabbing them or refilling them? And then, you give that person a job. I always know like who's going to be assigned like cake duty. Like, hey, we got to hand out a lot of cake. Yeah. That's a good one. Or just like, if you have friends that show up early all the time, leaving like some setup tasks for them to do can be so
there's always some setup tasks left to do, don't worry. Well, then I can like think ahead and be like, actually somebody could do this.
Yeah.
Let me just relax a little. It would take, when they show up, they can do that for me.
It would give you time for yourself too.
Yeah.
To like get ready for the party.
Yeah. Instead of like rushing last minute, trying to get everything done, and then no, this guy's gonna do this when he shows up. It's fine. I can relax.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of, like, even like, because if one person shows up and I'm like almost ready.
Yeah.
Then like they got nothing to do. They're just like standing around like, okay, now what? All right. But like if they have something, oh, thanks for showing up. Like, can you help set up now? Everyone's engaged. I got some time. Like,
or like help put out food.
Yeah.
Or
anything.
I'll put someone on oven duty. Like we'll do those like frozen appetizers or whatever. It's like, hey, can you man the oven? Like, oh yeah, sure, whatever.
Yeah.
People are pretty happy to. That's one way I found it's like helpful to find community, build community, is just like finding checklists or ways to just like take the stress off.
No, that's important.
Honestly. It doesn't have to be as big.
Yeah.
And also, if someone knows, like, the other thing you can do is you can invite those people that are more hesitant to show up to things. Be like, look, I really need you to come. We need someone for the name tag table.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna be like, I need to prioritize that.
Yeah,
I'm needed.
You're needed.
I'm not just like
people like being needed. Like that's like Like
we need you for the name tag table.
Yeah. That helps a lot, for sure. People want to feel needed. Yeah. Right. They're not just like some guy who showed up. They're like, no, like it's like I need you here, man. Like
And it people feel more invested in an event too, and I don't know.
That's that's definitely the trick. I need to be a habit. I need to be building.
Okay, so delegating.
Yeah, just like automatic. Yeah, I need to get to the point where I'm automatically delegating.
Yeah,
when I'm hosting, right, and I know how to do it. And okay, this thing can be delegated, this thing can't be. Like, okay, somebody showed up early. Hey, I'm going to delegate this to you. Like, just, I don't have any of that habit built.
You can put someone on the door too.
Yeah.
Like if they need to run down, let people in.
Oh yeah.
Like you can put someone on that.
There's so many pieces that can be delegated that I just have never considered doing.
You gotta do it.
Yeah. No, 100%. I should
buy you time.
I knew it was something that I was starting to think about, but it's like yeah, I can delegate everything. Like, well, not everything, but like there's so much that can be, for sure.
So that's there. When I thought about coming on to your podcast, I thought about like what 2 gifts could be like impactful and like recognize you and be like, I see you. And for me, it was like this intention of like getting locked in. And I was like, I know the perfect book to like show up with and be like, I'm not locked in. I'm not, perfect and high performance and everything. But I know where there's a roadmap that I can gift you. And the second one was, I know that you do social stuff all the time and you've become like a big piece of a community. And I was like, here's a way to take some stress off. Yeah. And that's the process I had to go through with like gift giving. It's like, who am I to this other person and what can I show up with to like see them? So that's me closing the loop.
I really appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah, you're welcome.
This is very thoughtful. You are very good at this.
Look,
they're very intentional gifts.
It's like that.
I could tie the whole episode together. Just
I had to. I was like, I did the setup. We gotta close the loop. But it's something that I noticed that I was like so bad at that it was failing the people around me, and I had to get intentional about it. And I honestly,
delegating is me failing me too.
Yeah.
Because I'm like forcing myself to like or hosting is way more work than it needs to be.
Burnout gets worse.
Yeah.
Right. And and so I've really tried to figure out that process of like, where am I failing myself and then other people?
Yeah.
Because if you were less burnt out, could you host more things?
Yeah.
Or attend more angry meetings.
I'm sure there's so many I think I could likely be doing more if I gave myself time, then it wouldn't be as much of a struggle to go do the things that I'm trying to do.
But something, I've become,
I like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's standing out to you?
It was because I think at first I was like, I need time for myself so that I can show up like in my relationship for the other people. But I think it's more than that. It's that I'm not even showing up for myself for the things I want to do for myself, like for other people or just like in my community, or like it's like, oh, I want to host this event.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for other people, but like for me, like I want to host this. I think it would be great to host this. And then because I'm burnt out, I'm not hosting it as well as I could be, right? Because I didn't take the time for myself. And so like I get to like do me better by doing this, by taking some time off.
Have you thought about that, like being able to host things for other people is the salad?
Yes,
for taking time for yourself.
Yeah.
Like that just started clicking for me when you're talking about like that's the reward.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying even that's what I first was thinking, but I'm thinking even better the reward is that like it's not like when I like hosting things. Mm-hmm. It's not about necessarily the like I do like hosting it for the other people, but it's like I like doing the hosting.
Okay.
For me. So when I take a break, the salad is that I get to host better for me.
Cool.
Right? And the other people are going to benefit from me being a better host as well.
Yeah.
So the other people are going to benefit better, and I'm going to enjoy hosting more, right? Because I'm going to be less burned out. Like if I delegate, I'm going to enjoy that party more.
Oh yeah.
Right?
And you will get more quality time with people.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're not,
which is a lot of what I want from bringing people together is quality time with them. Right?
Is that your love language?
I think that is the biggest one. What are the other ones? What is
quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, gift giving. Oh shoot.
Definitely quality time.
Quality time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And touch, I guess.
Yeah, physical touch. That's
I really
the
like
last
physical
one.
touch.
Physical
too,
touch is a
but
good one.
quality time is very important.
Physical touch is a weird one because
Yeah.
it's so intimate that like we can't satisfy that one with a lot of other people. But the other ones we can share the love.
Yeah.
And like, wouldn't you believe it? My love language is not gift giving. That's like a hard fought. It's still not. It's a hard fought battle. And mine is acts of service, which then somehow flowed into the medium of gift giving, but is not my love language by itself.
Yeah.
Very confusing stuff.
It is, 'cause, and in a sense, I feel like for me, I'm sometimes unsure which one is a stronger love language or not. And sometimes it's like one feeds into another one or something, or
like physical touch, quality time.
Yeah.
Or...
Well, all of them, or like
like
giving a gift could be considered like an act of service depending on the kind of gift you give, right? Or like I could be doing an act of service. Maybe we're doing acts of service for each other as quality time.
Yeah.
Right. Or I always thought like I wasn't a big fan of gifts, but like I like when I give other people gifts and they really like the gift because it's a very thoughtful one, right?
That payoff is so powerful.
Yeah. So like is that? But like I'm not that. I think too. Like I think I was used to like gift giving as like you're just expected to give a gift.
Yeah.
But then now I'm more introduced to like thoughtful gifts, and I'm like, oh, that's a totally different story. Like super thoughtful gifts.
How often do you gift quality time to someone else?
Do I gift quality time?
Yeah.
To someone else? Oh, because I never thought about it that way. Yeah. I guess like gift quality time.
Because these are like experiences. These are like it can be a lot of things, but it tends to be more experiences over like physical items.
Yeah.
Because that might be more satisfying to you too.
No, I think I get what you're saying. Yeah, it is. Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather like gift us some kind of quality time, and then I get to spend quality time with the person, and they really enjoy the quality time that I suggested. Right.
How much of that gift do you delegate?
Oh, I don't think I don't. Yeah, no, I don't delegate gifts like that.
Yeah,
for sure.
Because it becomes this interesting thing of like, would you have actually more quality time as part of that if you delegated different parts of it? Like
no,
for 100%.
Me, it's well, like my partner organized a party for me once, and my birthday party, as a surprise, and she delegated a ton of it.
Yeah,
but it's interesting because I would never consider delegating a gift like that for someone.
Yeah.
But like my friends were very happy to work together with her to put it together, and she didn't have to do all the work.
Well, like for me, if I give someone an experience, I'm not going to be a happy camper if I have to drive. So I delegate the driving. I'm like, we're just going to Uber there. Or we're going to have a good time.
Right.
That's like, that's delegation.
Yeah.
Right. Or like,
and like you're doing it for yourself. So that for you, the gift of the quality time is better. Yeah. Right. You're not. Yeah.
It's the same with like, do you go to a restaurant? Which restaurant? Like, do I make a reservation so just everything's taken care of? It's just kind of delegated to the calendar. Yeah. It's like a fun challenge to go through of like, how do I make sure this gift goes better for the other person and for me? Yeah.
Well, I think I'm very good at thinking like, how is it going to go good for the other person? Yeah. But I'm not thinking about how is it going to go good for me. Like, how can I make it easier for me? Yeah. Right? By doing that. I'm thinking about like, how can I make the gift better for them? Yeah. Right? But like the Uber is like if it's like, oh, we got to, then I'll drive, right? Is what I think. But it's like, I'm not going to enjoy the gift as much then. So like, actually I should Uber. Yeah. Even if like that's for me. Yeah. Right?
Because I don't want to drive.
Yeah, no.
Well, or find parking.
Yeah, right? Like there's
and now we're walking, and now, it's the whole thing. Yeah.
No, and like Ubering feels like so much more of a, like when you just show up right at the door for like a nice restaurant or something, like.
You're like, that's key.
Yeah, well, and that's better than driving. And like having to find parking and walk from the parking lot or something, like. I feel like an Uber Black is not even that much more. It's like $10 more if you're going to somewhere nice. Like,
I don't think I've ever taken one.
Me neither.
You've never taken
I've
Uber
never taken
Black.
Uber Black.
Okay.
But I feel like if it's like a $15 Uber ride, it's gonna be like $25 Uber Black. And like,
You think so?
I think it's, yeah, I don't think it's that expensive. But like if you're Ubering regularly, you're not gonna do that. But if you're going somewhere nice,
You know, I've never thought of doing that.
it's just like it's right there, right?
I'm so cheap. I've never thought of doing that. It's like
Listen, I've
one
never thought-
button over.
Yeah, yeah. And like if you're already spending, right? That's why I was like, I've never. But like I would love that. I'd love showing up to a nice restaurant in an Uber Black, and like
Yeah.
I'd love that more than like half an appetizer. You know?
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, maybe.
Because
yeah.
like the appetite, like the difference in cost is not like at a nice place. That's like half an appetizer anyway,
That's true.
right?
I'm a big appetizer guy.
You're gonna be all right.
That's the better course.
Like I would get like one less drink or something.
Yeah.
And then be like, no, but we're gonna do Uber Black there. Like, cool, man.
That's cool.
Yeah,
You just
I love
one
this.
up this gift. That
Yeah,
with
exactly. Well,
the
and
Uber Black.
and like to me, that like, it feels so much nicer. Like you show up in an Uber Black.
I hadn't even thought about that.
I never me neither.
I thought I was like, I got you with the.
Yeah, well, you did, and then I was like, okay, how can I make it even better for me?
Yeah.
Well, I want to show up in a nice car
Yeah.
for
Okay.
like a difference of $10
That's
or something.
good.
Like,
Well, yeah. And these are
depending how far you're going.
these aren't cheap. Well, I mean, we live downtown.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm not going that far normally when I'm Ubering.
My
right?
Ubers are like $8.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
amazing. Yeah. So going through like gift giving and stuff, it's such a cool journey to go on because I turned it into like a gym for showing up for other people.
Yeah.
Because it's cyclical too. You get a lot of like at bats through a whole year of like gift giving opportunities, especially for your partner.
Yeah.
You can strike out on a couple and you're still doing okay.
Yeah.
And it's been like it's a cool journey to like take yourself on because you're like, wait, who am I to this person?
Yes. Yeah. You get a lot of self-reflection to think about.
It's like a very vulnerable question to ask.
Yeah. I love that stuff. But somehow I've turned vulnerable into a salad. Like when I'm being vulnerable, it's like very satisfying.
It's so hard.
for me.
It's a huge challenge for me.
It's very hard.
Yeah.
But I've also turned it into like I think like I've reframed it in a way where I'm like, oh, this is good though. Like I'm gonna get some like juicy.
Interesting.
I'm gonna get some satisfaction out of this after I do it. Like, oh, I don't want to like be involved. This sounds hard. Oh, but I'm gonna get such a good gift out in this scenario. If I be vulnerable, the gift is gonna be so much better.
Wow.
So I got to do it. This is just an example of like what for you, right? But
yeah.
So don't think about like, oh, well, I got to be vulnerable. Think about like, if I don't, I'm gonna get the gift. It's gonna be so good. Like the look on the person's face is gonna be so much better if I be vulnerable when thinking about the gift, right?
I like that. Do you remember like the best gift that you ever got?
I think it was that birthday.
That birthday party,
Yeah.
like everything else paled in comparison. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you know it was happening?
No, pure surprise.
So there was a whole group chat, everything.
Oh yeah, it was like
delegated.
every person that I could vaguely consider my friend was there, except like 4 people maybe. But
That's
and
awesome.
I had no idea.
I hate surprise parties. They're like the bane of my existence. I actually, it would have been so rude, but I would have walked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hate surprise parties so much.
No, it was Natasha is a magician.
Yeah.
And what she does, for sure. It was no, I cried. So it was.
That's a good payoff for her.
Yeah. Oh no, because I know it was like very stressful for her to like hide it for so long and hide all this thing.
Were you asking like, hey, what's going on with the?
No. So she planned a diversion party.
Oh.
Where like 6 of my friends were gonna come over for like a little thing.
Okay.
And actually everybody was waiting in the party room.
So like one of these party room apartment. Okay.
It was very, very, very well done. And no, I think the payoff for her was very fantastic, is my understanding.
If you can get tears, like that's a gift. Like that is that's like
I broke down.
Yeah. And it feels good later too, right? You're like, man, that gift.
Yeah, well, I almost broke down more. than it was expected, because I saw Alex, like, I was like crying, and I was like coming out of the crying. He walked up and he was holding a bubble tea, and I love bubble tea. And I was like, oh my god, did you guys get bubble tea for everyone as part of the party? They didn't. But like for a second I thought they did, and I just like broke down again. I was like, oh my god, it's too perfect. But I mean, he was already perfect. And then he was like, do you want the bubble tea? And I was like, honestly, that would be fantastic
bubble
right
tea
now.
slaps.
I love
That's
bubble
good
tea.
stuff. So I guess you gotta one up it in the future.
Yeah. Well, I did. So she was, I haven't one-upped her yet.
Okay.
But she was very into Kuromi.
Okay.
The
I'm so familiar.
yeah, okay. Yeah. It's like the Hello Kitty character, right? So for her birthday, I bought her like Hello Kitty everything.
Okay. Yeah, good move.
Yeah, like I bought her multiple Hello Kitty gifts, but also I made the birthday party Hello Kitty, or sorry, Kuromi specifically.
Yeah.
I got her multiple Kuromi gifts, and I made the whole birthday party Kuromi themed, and I think like that like girly side of herself is something that she's like hasn't wanted to accept.
Yeah.
Like, she's that girly sometimes.
That's what Kuromi is.
And yeah.
It's like the little goth one.
Yeah, well, it's like the exact, because like Kuromi herself is like very girly, is the way I understand her character, but like she's like, no, I'm like a mean goth. Like I'm not actually like a cute Hello Kitty character, right? That's like her whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? So that birthday was like her, like she was truly Kuromi that day.
That's awesome.
She did not cry, unfortunately.
Oh, you'll get there. You'll get there. You're on the right path.
Thank you.
It'll happen. When we do birthday parties for each other, we pick really childish themes because you can find so much like merch on Amazon and stuff for it.
You can.
So
They got everything.
I've done like a football birthday party. I've done a construction themed birthday party.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
oh,
it was so fun. And you
they're gonna have like forks and spoons and plates and like hats. They're gonna have
blow up
everything.
things.
Yeah.
What else have we done?
Kid themed stuff. That's good.
You pick like kid themed stuff.
Yeah.
Like I think I'm gonna do like a Taylor Swift birthday party or something next year and just like make it completely ridiculous. Okay. People really get into it too because there's so much, like there's like balloons and like everything.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of fun with it. That's why Kuromi. That's why
Kuromi worked, because they just had like a birthday party set, and I bought more stuff than that too, right?
Yeah.
But like they were all ready to go. Like
they're waiting
was ready.
for you.
They're waiting for me to buy the Kuromi birthday party pack.
Maybe I'll do a Kuromi birthday party. That's a good one too.
That was a good one.
I do like Sanrio. Yeah.
And now we watched the show together. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Oh yeah, they don't miss. Like they're good stuff. I got tears from Maria when we got engaged, and I was like, nailed it.
Oh yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. I'd shop for the ring in secret for 3 months.
Oh
yeah.
I would be scared to get a ring in secret.
Oh,
without like running it by her.
The payoff. It's like you go from here to like here.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like the dopamine, you're just like, oh my god, next level. But that's why it took 3 months.
Yeah.
So I was like,
I'm surprised you did it in only 3 months. That's impressive, honestly. You got a ring that was not just acceptable, but like cry worthy in 3 months. That's like, you got yourself a lot of credit.
It was.
That's very difficult, I think.
Yeah. I went to a lot of stores. I think I went to 7 or 8 stores.
Yeah.
And then I found a vintage store near my work that I needed something really unique. Like I needed a really unique ring, and they only deal in vintage stuff. And I told her my price range, and we went through like boxes on boxes on boxes, like of the trays of rings. And she only let me keep 5 out in like a little thing. Okay. So if I found another one I liked, I had to swap it out for one, right? And then after 4 hours, she was like, I'd love to keep ring shopping with you, but we've actually, like, there are no more rings in this store that fit your parameters.
Yeah.
So it's one of the 5 here for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's when...
those are those that had stayed there.
Yeah, they've survived. Yeah. And then she was like, look, I've watched you do this for 4 hours. But because I'd done my research, she was like, oh, he knows about like diamonds, grading, this, that, different styles. He knows what he wants. We're having fun. We're vibing, whatever. And it's a big purchase. Like, you know, you got to give me my time. Yeah. She was like, you've gone through 2,000 rings. Every single ring, when you picked it up, you compared it to that one. It has to be that. I've been doing this for 20 years. It has to be that ring. If it's not that ring, you keep shopping, but I bet you it's that ring. And then I actually had to take a work call, and I left the jewelry store, and she put everything away. She's like, I think he walked out. That's it. And then I came back, and she's like, oh, you're back. And I'm like, yeah, we got to buy that ring. And then she's like, okay. And yeah, so I had, the crazy thing is, I now had an amazing story. Yeah. And then I went and got a box, and then I figured out where we were going to do it. And that plan failed twice. And then I actually had to use my backup plan, and then still got the tears. And it was so worthwhile going through that entire horrible process to get to that point.
Yeah. Damn.
It's a if you ever go through it, give me a call, because it's a crazy thing to go through, but it's so worth it. Yeah, I did it completely in secret.
Yeah.
Because she said it was a ring she wouldn't have picked for herself. It was too loud. It was too much. She would have been like, no, it's too much. But because someone else picked it for her, it's that tear moment, right? It's oh my gosh, this is I would never have done this.
Yeah, for but but she wants it, but she wouldn't have picked it for. It's oh, I don't deserve this. I shouldn't look like this. But
would you have thrown a surprise birthday party for yourself?
I never would have thrown myself a birthday party like that.
No,
the way she did it,
right?
It was too loud, but I loved it.
You felt seen, right? Especially with the boba tea.
Yeah. Oh, there was so much too that I won't get into today.
That's fine.
Fantastic.
But the point is, you felt seen, right?
Oh, amazing! So seen, amazing,
And you didn't have to tell her this is what I want.
No, she just did,
and she just knew.
She's she's a wizard for sure.
That's crazy. Oh, good for you. That's awesome. So, any significant takeaways?
Well, there was 7.
7.
This was great.
This was good. Okay.
Yeah. I guess I feel like it's good to go through the takeaways at the end of the episode.
That's what I was.
That's a habit I gotta build. Yeah. Because I think it's similar to the you don't need to pause thing.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm no, it's done. Let's just next thing. Let's just. But no, I think actually for the imperfect human brain, it's actually very useful to do a little takeaway at the end. And maybe that's a habit I should be building, and I'll be more in control of how much I learn from these episodes.
Well, so I'm going to take an Uber Black.
Yes. Yeah, honestly, I think that was a good takeaway.
Yeah.
Is take an Uber Black to a very nice place.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got I need to schedule time with myself.
Yeah.
And it's a priority because it's going to help me show up in the rest of my life, whether it's for other people or for myself, or I need to schedule that time, and it has to happen. It's like the gym, I got to do it. Yeah. Right. It's not optional. I got to delegate.
You got to delegate.
I got to delegate when I'm hosting things, and just in general. Yeah, I just started learning to delegate at work. It just became the point where it's okay, Ramsey, you're leading a team of 3 total people, so you got to delegate now.
That's really challenging.
Oh shit, this is I got to do this now. So that's where we are. Those are all good takeaways. What else?
That's a good one.
Do you have any other takeaways?
Yeah. Oh man, there was one where I was that's such a good. Well, you got me with the Uber Black for sure. I was damn. There's another one about how you framed
salads and stuff.
Yeah, and it was just it was I get to live longer.
Yeah.
I was damn, that's such good framing.
That's why I really like what Brandon Johnson's talking about. I think he's reframing a lot of health things.
Yeah.
As this is gonna make your life better. You're gonna show up better. you're gonna live longer. Like when he's talking about sleep, he talks about like a lot of people are like, I gotta grind, I gotta get more done. But he's like, if you sleep more, you're gonna live longer, and when you do stuff, you're gonna do it better. You're gonna show up in your relationships better. You're showing up in your work better. Like that's what sleeping more actually means. That's the satisfaction you get from it, right?
Yeah. There was another good one. There's really like the like taking time for yourself in like different seasons of like what you're doing, because you were talking about like when you're forming a community being really it's intense, right? And there's a lot going on, but then later you were like, I've stepped back from stuff. I'm not attending everything. And I was like, oh, that's such an interesting takeaway about like the seasons of doing something,
right?
Like the spring of forming a new community versus like the winter of like, no, I have other priorities now that this thing is taking care of itself.
Yeah. Sometimes things will start to take care of themselves at some point, and like then you can step back a little and then come back in later. And
I thought that was great.
That's okay.
That was a good takeaway. Because I was like, where do I need to do that in my life? Like, what can take care of itself now?
I've seen a lot of examples, I think, of other people doing that too, and like stepping back a little when it made sense. And I was like, I'm glad that you did that, person that I'm involved in your thing. Like,
oh, like you're involved in someone else's thing.
Yeah. Or just like maybe I've seen like some influencers I follow, and like they step back a bit. And, like I think they needed to do that at the time, or
there's Reese Martin. Stepping back from YouTube.
Yeah. It's like, seems like that was good for him.
Oh,
Seems like that's what he needs right now.
And he's like, I need to redirect my focus. And it's so healthy.
Yeah.
I've often felt the challenge of that with work, that we don't treat work in seasons. Some jobs have seasons.
Yeah.
But
you just keep going.
Yeah. Whereas like a football team, right? Like they have their season and it's hard. And then they recover and reset. And I'm like, how do I apply that mentality to everything else?
Yeah.
No clue.
I think a lot of the highest performers do that, but we don't expect that from ourselves.
Yeah. No. And it's like, well, they need downtime.
Yeah.
Where's my downtime?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
cool.
Amazing.
All right. Amazing.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was a very good episode.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad
to have you on.
Yeah.
I appreciate the books, the gifts. It was a very intentional episode, and I know I learned a lot from it.
Oh, I took away so much. So thank you.
Cool. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you. All right. Do you feel locked in?
Oh yeah. We're getting locked in.
Okay. Perfect.